back. You're watching your stocks on CNBC TV 18. The Nifty has given up a tad bit from the high point of the day. Pull up Z Entertainment. That stock, in fact, came out with a good set of numbers, but from the high point of the day, stock is corrected close to around 3%. So pull up that stock. Pull up Kane India as well. That stock, in fact, has moved from the low point of the day. It's struggling at this point of time. But the mid-cap index, though, it's done a relative underperformance today. Let's pull up a few stocks. Pull up PVR. That's doing very well. HCL Infosystems as well. Stock has spiked up. And Tilak Nagar continues its good run. That stock for the week itself is higher by close to around 25%. So pull up Tilak Nagar as well. Edelweiss Finance as well. Following up yesterday's big run, that stock has spiked up in the last 10 minutes. But we'll answer all your queries. We have our two guests with us. Mayuresh Joshi of Angel Broking will answer all your stock queries, while we have Harshvardhan Rungta as well, who will join us to answer all your personal finance queries. Before we go to our first caller, in fact, we have some numbers that are flashing for you on the screen. HT Media, in fact, the numbers are looking like a bit of a mixed bag, because on the top line, there's a small beat of close to around 1% on the top line, while on the bottom line, that has missed estimates, and that's why, in fact, the stock has seen some selling pressure. It's down close to around 3.5%. Our poll threw up a number of closer towards 30 crores. It's come in only at around 25 crores. But let's get in our first caller. We have Deepmala, who calls us from Maharashtra and has a query in HCC. Hi, good afternoon.
हेलो.
Hi Deepmala, good afternoon.
हाँ, हमारे HCC के शेयर है 2200.
ओके.
27 रुपए के भाव से. तो इसका फ्यूचर कैसा है?
जी, और मैडम आप लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर है कि शॉर्ट टर्म इन्वेस्टर?
हाँ, लॉन्ग टर्म में.
All right, Mayuresh, what's your take? She's sitting on not too bad bigger loss. Bought it at 27 bucks. It's at around 24 rupees. What's your take? She's a long-term investor. Can I turn around?
Afternoon, Nigel. I think I'll try to answer the question in Hindi for her convenience. So I think HCC के जैसे हमने numbers देखे हैं, I think एक encouraging trend कहा जा सकता है. थोड़ी I think respite देखी है EBITDA front पे, और even on the profit front 20 करोड़ का जो profit इन्होंने post किया था last quarter में, I think थोड़ा encouraging था. However, I think इनकी जो debt है books पे और जो interest और finance cost ये service करते हैं, ये काफी portion of EBITDA खा जाती है. और जहाँ तक इनका order flows है, I think decent order book है, जैसे इनके management ने कहा था last quarter में. But I think some issues are still persisting. तो इनके जो 4 bought projects हैं, I think 2 already operational है, 2 on the way है. मैनेजमेंट की उम्मीद यही है कि चारों प्रोजेक्ट्स में एक स्टेक सेल कर रहे हैं, जिससे थोड़ी डीलेवरेजिंग हो जाए बैलेंस शीट. आईपीओ की भी हम राह देख रहे हैं लवासा का, एंड द वैल्यू एंड द क्वांटम ऑफ द आईपीओ. तो मुझे लगता है आई थिंक थोड़े ट्रिगर्स इस स्टॉक में बाकी है, बट कैश फ्लो जनरेट करने के लिए काफी समय लगेगा. तो फंडामेंटल स्टिल रिमेन वेरी वेरी वीक फॉर एचसीसी, बट ये ट्रिगर्स की वजह से स्टॉक शायद आपकी कॉस्ट प्राइस एक्सीड कर सकता है. सो इन माय ओपिनियन आई थिंक अगर ये कॉस्ट प्राइस एक्सीड करता है तो एक बार के लिए निकल जाए. द प्रिफर्ड स्पेस फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव इन माय ओपिनियन वुड बी प्राइवेट बैंक्स, एक्सिस, आईसीआईसीआई, जहां पे हम काफी पॉजिटिव है विद a 1 year time horizon.
Okay, so what I gather, Mayuresh, is that if it reaches 27 rupees, then Deepmala should possibly exit HCC and look to enter private banks. HCC currently, however, inching closer towards that 27 mark, up around 2% today. Time for a break now, but some more stock and personal finance queries being solved on the other side of it.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.
Welcome back. Well, those are the HT Media numbers that we already spoke about some time back. But Biocon from the pharmaceutical space should come up for you. We do understand that there is a Syngene IPO meet or press conference that is going to take place tomorrow. So that means that there is one step closer towards the Syngene, which is the R&D or rather the clinical research arm of Biocon. And it was expected that a listing could take place by July, August. They are looking to sell around 22 million shares, or around 11% totally in terms of the stake in Syngene at this point in time. So it's largely in line with what the street was expecting, considering that they've received the SEBI approval, they filed the DRHP in April, and the management did say that they're aiming for a July to August listing. But let's get to our caller now. We have R.K. Chawla, who calls in from New Delhi with a personal finance query. Hi, Mr. Chawla.
Yes, madam. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Madam, I am already having 4 SIPs in the large cap from ICICI Bank and UTI, DSP BlackRock and HDFC Top 200. Now I am thinking of taking another 2 to 3 SIPs amounting to 3,000 rupees per month for a long period.
Okay.
In the balance funds. Can you suggest me some good balance funds?
Okay, well, firstly, congratulations, sir, on having so many SIPs already on a monthly basis. That's quite commendable. But Harshvardhan, what would you recommend to Mr. Chawla if he wants to start 3 more SIPs and he wants to focus on balance funds? Which one would it be?
Mr. Chawla has a very specific query of investing additional money into balanced funds. So, it would be a good idea. The only thing is, what would be the meaning of a balanced fund? It means that you have a mix of equities and debt. Now, for academic, knowledge purposes, to be classified as an equity fund, in the equity category for income tax purposes, every fund is mandated to invest 65% minimum into equities and the rest can go into debt. So, if he is looking to invest within this combination, then there are a few funds I could recommend. He could invest into Tata Balanced Fund, ICICI Pru Balanced Fund and Canara Robeco Balanced Fund. Now, I'm just a little bit apprehensive and just want to give him some bit of additional information. There are some kind of funds available in which you can have a mix of debt and equity, and in which equities could be as low as 5% going up to 75%. So considering his entire risk profile, he would possibly want to maneuver between an equity allocation which could be from 5 to 75%. Now, I just want to reiterate again, in case he chooses a balanced fund in which, or a hybrid fund in which the equity allocation is less than 65%, the scheme will be treated as a debt fund and the taxation will be different, and long-term capital gains will be taxed as against an equity fund in which long-term capital gains is tax-free. So you could choose one of the funds that I've recommended, and in case he wants to change the allocation of equity, there are other options available.
Alright then, valid answer coming in there, but our final query of today is already in and a caller is already standing by. So Mayuresh Joshi calls us from Indore. He has investments in Tata Motors. Hi Vinay.
Hello.
Hi Vinay.
Hello.
Yes sir, how can we help you? आपका सवाल क्या है?
सर मेरा पास टाटा मोटर के 100 शेयर है 390 के प्राइस पे.
ओके.
और मैं जानना चाहता हूँ ये क्या इस मंथ में 365 370 तक आ सकता है क्या? मैं इसको एक्यूमुलेट करना चाहता हूँ नीचे बाइंग.
ऑलराइट सर, और आप लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टर हैं?
नहीं सर, मैं इसको मंथली ट्रेड करना चाहता हूँ.
Monthly trade, alright. Mayuresh, could you quickly answer that query? It's a short-term time horizon he's looking at. He wants to know whether he should add more on the downside. He's already got a few shares at around $390.
Well, yes, Nigel, he can. And again, I think he should have a little bit of a larger time frame, because I think the volumes in China are an issue for Tata Motors. Clearly evoke, I think, the kind of discounts that they're meeting out, $8,000 odd, competition warnings coming down from BMW related to China sales. I think all pointing out to volume cuts in our own assumptions, at least as the Chinese markets are concerned. So in our opinion, I think Jaguar should probably start holding up, at least on the global scale, but EBITDA margins would take a hit. But again, valuation simply too attractive at this point of time. So if it declines, yes, I think he should accumulate some more quantity of Tata Motors in addition to what he has and hold out. I think we're very, very optimistic on Tata Motors with a 1-year time horizon with a target of 489.
Okay, well, that's a bullish call coming in on Tata Motors. Mayuresh as well as Harshvardhan, thank you very much for joining in and taking us through all the queries. That's all the time that we have on this show, but do remember to keep sending in your stock queries by posting it on our Money Control message board, and stay tuned. Closing bell is up next.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.